said there are some things, like photographs, that can only be developed in the dark. You know, as a kid, I'm 7 years old at the most, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't really think much of it, but it stayed in my head as I was thinking about joy and how do we find that in dark places. And so when I start to think about it, a photographer, will tell you this, and he also said this at another time, that film, it begins, at least in old-fashioned film, now we take pictures on our phone, right away, we see it. But film, and that still gets done today, it begins as something unclear, it begins as something that's hidden, and, if you look at an undeveloped photograph, it's pretty unimpressive. But when it's placed in that dark room, with the right chemicals, with the right time, with some steady hands, that was the other thing Uncle Bill had mentioned, that you have to have steady hands. Well, the image starts to slowly emerge. And I'm going to repeat real quick the two things that he said to me. If you pull the photo out too early, the image never develops. Some things can only be formed in the dark. So when I think about Advent, I think Advent is the church's dark room. Because Advent is a season, and it happens like right after Thanksgiving, all the way through Christmas, maybe a little shorter this year because Thanksgiving was a little later. But it's a season when God is forming joy in us. But He's doing it if we're paying attention. He's doing it slowly. He's doing it quietly. And almost at times we just can't even perceive it, what He's doing in us. But that is if we're in worship, if we're in the Word, if we're paying attention to what the Holy Spirit is telling us. So, like I said, I want to talk about, and I'll make these 3 quick points. I want to talk about not the joy that comes after the Knicks win or the Mets signed a good player yesterday. I'm talking about the joy that comes after everything is now fixed, right? After that photograph is fully developed. I'm not talking about that type of joy, right? That we wait till everything is fixed. I'm talking about, hi guys, I'm talking about the joy that happens, that develops while we wait on that photograph to be fixed. All right, I want that to sink in, folks. I'm hoping this is lighting you up too. Let's make 3 quick points.